Alright, so just made it back to the stream. Just testing now the latency. Nice. Alright, we're good. Alright, so we just got back. Sorry for the delay with everything. Alright. Holy crap. Yeah, so I'm taking like another break soon. I'm getting like really tired of trying to sit here at the desk all day, and I can't film with the standing desk up with my current rig because the desk will be too close to the camera and I won't be able to capture anything. I need to take these headphones off. I was listening to Austin's stream. And the dude's super funny. If you're not following Austin, you should definitely get guy. Really, really great. But I am kind of beat, and I've been trying to do this challenge, and it's been a little difficult because like I don't expect people to stick around for an entire work week of me drawing in a sketchbook. That's insane. Like you have your own work week, you have your own things that you need to do. But dude, I am tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I did it all day yesterday, and I was like, nice, I did it. Like I made it through. But it is hard to do. Let me tell you, it is really hard to do. Just drawing constantly in a sketchbook, trying to make something that's like comprehensive is insane. So, and it takes away from the overall quality of my other streams. I think people like when I have a plan, a set schedule, and we just go for it. Now it's hard to even know if people are watching the stream. So that's been a challenge. So there's one continuous viewer. My internet connection's a little too slow, so it's a little hard to draw everything. But I'm going to try my best to kind of keep going for a little bit longer. But if I don't get the view rate up, it's really not worth the time and stress of streaming a live video like this, where I could just draw it and then film highlights and stuff, and then time lapse it in a video, and that will get far more viewership. So I do appreciate everyone that is spending the time on the channel, everyone that has donated on streams from yesterday and the day before. That's been great. I'm super thankful for that. We've had some more subscribers and stuff that have been coming on, so that's been a huge thing for me as well. Super thankful for that. I still can't even believe like how much great stuff has come from the streaming and doing all the live stuff. But it's just hard, man. It's just hard to do. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we got a few people that'll watch continuously throughout a stream, and then other times there's nobody that's actually like no one that's watching. And it's like I said, it's totally fine. It's not the end of the world, but when the goal is to kind of get viewership up, you definitely want to have some engagement. And there's just not a lot of engagement going on because the streams keep cutting out because of my internet connection. And it's hard to keep it interesting and fun, you know? It's like, yeah, okay, I can talk for the entire stream length, but it's just not worth it, you know? It's just kind of ridiculous. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I actually liked what Austin was doing in his stream though today. It was cool. He had his own like thing set up, but he's talking like with one of his friends while he's live streaming, so that's pretty sick. And he's able to still draw on his iPad. So I didn't even think about doing something like that. I think that's a really cool idea. I will need a capture card, I think, to make that possible. But it is really cool to see what's possible from just like messing around and experimenting. And that was such a cool thing to try out for a stream. I never even thought about doing something like that. That's so rad. But it is hard to find the technology and like invest in the equipment to do it all. I definitely need to get a capture card though, so I can do better quality streams for you guys, because using my webcam and just my iPhone is insane, and I would like to use something more than just the iPhone. But yeah, I did leave a link to Austin's stream, so if you want to go check his out, definitely go check it out. It's been absolutely wild, like just trying to keep up with everybody's stuff, everyone's streams and everything that's been going on, and there's just so much that's been happening for myself lately. Like it is really hard to keep up sometimes. But we're doing what we can. I'm just trying to get back to his get back to Austin's stream right now. Actually, all right, yeah, he's still on.
All right, good, because they're doing some kind of update this week.
All right, I'm just gonna let Austin know I gotta leave his stream, unfortunately. So watching his stream and streaming at the same time keeps ending my stream. All right. So yeah, just ending that really quick. It's not showing me how many people are actually like viewing on the channel. The metrics are like all over the place right now, so it's not too bad, not too big of a deal. All right, and I'm just gonna like continue this weird skull drawing. All right. Got some motivation to kind of try to get through this.
Okay. So start drawing some of these um, conjoined skull references. They're pretty sick. There's some cool ones for sure.
Just testing things out, testing the waters of what's possible. Just trying to have fun with it. I got a little bit of motivation at the end, signing off of Austin's stream. So he like hyped me up and he's like, "It's true. I definitely could do this." I said I was going to do it. It's a challenge. It sucks to do right now, and I'm bored. Even if no one's watching, said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to stick it out. Hopefully, some more people enjoy the stream. If anyone wants to like give me a call or chill and chat out of my closer personal friends, definitely feel free. It does get boring just sitting here drawing and not really having much to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna do some faces after this whole giant thing of skulls. I think there's some cool things I could do. So if anyone has suggestions for people that want to see me draw, let me know, and I'll actually do my best to try to draw them. Or if you have images, I'm using Pinterest preferably, or Instagram links. I'll do Instagram links. That's fine. But please don't like abuse this and like try to use it for like clout. It's really whack when people do that. But if you guys truly want to see me try to draw a specific person or anything like that, that's fine. I'd like to keep politics out of it, so I don't want to draw any politicians or anything like that. Because I won't be nice. So we'll avoid that. But if you guys like have like a celebrity or like something like that you want to sort of draw, or like I don't know, just any image really, animals, your pets. I'd love to draw people's pets. That'd be cool. I don't draw a lot of people anymore. I'm not very good at it because I don't have time to do life drawing like I used to. Damn, it is getting difficult. So yeah, I'm also drawing with a pen. It gets a little bit more complicated when you're drawing with a pen. It's a little harder to like really keep it going, keep it like consistent, making sure you're not making mistakes when you're drawing from reference and you're just like looking back and forth. It gets a little distorted sometimes. Ugh. Like I drew teeth too low on one side and then they're too long on another side. And the skull is not a regular skull, it's a conjoined twin skull, so it's going to have a bunch of weirdness to it. It's got the 3 eye sockets instead of the one, and it's got these weird indentations and dents in it. It's definitely cool looking. It's creepy as all hell. So right up my alley for things I like to draw. But it is definitely it is a challenge to draw it for sure. And it says we have 2 live viewers, so anyone that's watching right now, super appreciate it. It's really rad of you. It looks like the chat is turned off again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Yeah, dude, I'd be down. Sorry, the chat just came back up. Yeah, I'd definitely be down if you want to send me like a character. I'd take a stab at it. I'll do my best to make it look good. Sorry about the delay. I'm not sure how long that's been up. Yeah, if you want to send me send a link in the chat or on the Discord, that's fine. I know you're on the Discord server because you're an active member on there. If you want, you can also send it in the chat. Just send an image of it either via Instagram or Pinterest. Just need a safer link for it to be transferred. Or if you post it on the Discord server, I'll take a look. Just send me a link to that that post on the Discord server. There is a category on there called "What to Draw." Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure. There's a bunch of weird latency issues I'm running into on today's stream, so glad it's not too long. But yeah, if you want to, you can you can add it to that channel that's on the Discord server if you prefer, and I'll just grab it from there, or if like you want to send me a link, as long as it's a safer link to grab from. It's been an intense week already, and we're like in the second day of trying to do this challenge, and I'm already so exhausted. But just gonna keep going. You gotta check the pen. Do a little pen shot there if you guys can see. The pen is it's not terrible. It's not doing the best it could do. I'm gonna have a light for it. Oh, the ink just went back. But it's getting there. Starting to run out. I think I'm gonna draw with this pen until it's done. So everything's gonna be with this green pen until it runs out. So it could be it could take a little while. I might do some like heavy fill backgrounds or something to help speed that process up if I get really sick of using it. But it is a good challenge to give yourself too if you're trying to just make yourself draw and you want to know when to stop. When the pen runs out is the answer. That's when you should stop drawing. I've done that before though. Like I've tried that with personal challenges with the ballpoint pen challenges, and I ended up accidentally buying the Super Bic pens that last 5 times longer than the standard ballpoint pen. I was like, wow, I've done this before and it's never taken so long. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I literally bought the longest lasting pens that exist. Yeah, just put it up on the Discord. I'm gonna check that right now. So let me just pull up the Discord server, and we'll give that a try. And there is links to the Discord server if you guys are just joining the stream. You can check it out on there. There's a bunch of other stuff to put on there. All right, got a link coming up. And sorry for all the weird stuff that's been popping up in general and all that recently. Let's see, art ideas. And so let me pull it up. All right, so we got a character from someone from the Discord. Thank you for contributing, Bonk. This is going to be sick. I'll try to do a version of this in a little bit. I want to finish up this page of skulls first, and then we'll do the characters next. I'm just halfway through this one, so I just want to at least get most of this down, and then kind of fill in some of the background with a few other small stylized skulls. Yeah, I can see it over here, so no reason that you don't need to send a link now. It's fine, I can see it. But let me just finish up this skull I'm drawing on now, and then we'll try to get a few more skulls on this page, and then we'll do the character stuff after this. But I like the shape of the character, man. It looks cool. You can actually check that out on the Discord server if you guys want. There's a link to it in the description if you want to join. And it's under the what to draw tab, I think I have it as. That's what it's labeled. No, sorry, it's under art ideas. So that's where that one is. All right. And it's hard to like typing sideways and trying to do this. Nice. All right, almost through it. Come on, we're like 2 hours into 2.5 hours into the stream or something, or or all the streams that I've done today. It keeps cutting out, so I'm just gonna keep drawing. It's hard to keep track of. I'm trying to let you guys know when things stop, and how much time has lapsed and how much I've been drawing, because I'm still drawing and I usually don't notice the stream has stopped. So we're still doing okay. Trying to keep it as accountable as possible, so there's zero chance I don't stick to this challenge. I want to try to do this. It's been really hard and it's definitely mentally draining. So please be patient. If I need a break, please understand that sitting here drawing and talking for 8 hours is really hard to do. Fueled up with some coffee though. So we should be good to go. There's not too much delay happening right now, either now that I've closed some of the other tabs. I had a lot of tabs open and it was just starting to really slow down my computer. A bunch of other video tabs and stuff as I was watching other people's streams. I had Austin's stream linked in there too, so you guys could check that out. So that was pretty awesome. And then the chat over here, I'm gonna like refresh the chat on one screen. It's hard to see what's happening now. Okay, cool. And yeah, dude, I wouldn't even worry. Like if you're able to come up. Sorry, we're reading the chat now. If you're able to, like draw things without really needing to think about it too much, that's your style. That's the thing that people would recognize as your style. If it's the thing that you can almost draw flawlessly, you start to develop small details and features that are unique to how your hand reacts on a surface, or like how you make a mark, and that eventually evolves into what your style technically is. I used to stop. I don't know. Like I've been thinking more about style in my own personal work, and I've just stopped trying to chase it because people say that I have a style and I don't recognize it myself. So I'm just gonna keep drawing, and I make what I make, and if people like it, they like it. I've already pretty much reached all my goals for for Instagram. All I wanted to do was break up to 1,000 followers on that. So once I did that earlier this year, it was a huge milestone for me because I really put in a lot of work to it. And then I just stopped. And now that I'm taking the break, it's been kind of nice, like not needing to be on there constantly seeing just all sorts of like random stuff that's like exhausting to look at constantly. As far as stuff in like the art world goes, like there's a lot of great political things that are happening right now and like social justice things that are on there, and it's awesome. I'm glad that's on there. But like things creative wise, career wise, I just needed a break from it. It's just been so hard to really sit on there. Still trying to show support, but I'm not really like lurking on there like I was before and trying to post my own work every day. Huh. Looks like the chat was disabled. Shouldn't be. Yeah, so just kind of filling up the rest of the sketchbook for people that are just tuning in. I can't tell what metrics are real on here because I'm looking at two different sources. So my Streamlabs one is all over the place and it says there's nobody streaming, and then the YouTube one says there's 2 people streaming or 3 people streaming. So if it cuts in and out, I'm sorry about that. I don't have any control of that, but I'm just going to follow the YouTube one. And just filling in some of this background to kind of knock out some of the negative space to make it look like these skulls are floating. And this is one of those things that will, it can kill a pen. So if you're doing this challenge and you're feeling exhausted with a drawing and you're not sure if you're able to mentally draw more things, try to, but if you can't, it's a good way to like get through a pen if you're doing a draw until a pen's dead challenge. But yeah, we're gonna try to get the viewership up on the channel as well. So the whole channel has been down over like 300 hours from last month, which is insane. I don't know if I uploaded more or if I just had more popular videos last month, but the viewership is way down. So I'm hoping that these live streams will also help with that, along with all the other benefits. Fiberglass sheets are interesting to work with, but the resins can be really toxic. I would try epoxy sculpt at first because you don't have to like do anything for it. It dries within 4 hours, so it's a decent amount of working time. That's what I use for most of my sculptures because it's sandable, it's paintable, it's easy to cast and seal it, and because you can like wet sand it to an ultra gloss smooth finish and use like automotive primers and stuff. I do plan to do more toy content. I know people have been wanting it and asking for it for a long time. It's just hard to do because the materials are toxic and I don't have proper workspace for it. But people have been asking, so I'm going to find a way to make some of that content, maybe even this week. We'll make a toy from start to finish, so we'll start from like a drawing all the way to kind of a general concept for sculpting. And then if I can, raise enough money through some sales, I'll be able to afford the materials to make it. It's just expensive. And I've already done a lot of it, so it's like, for me, it's hard to convince myself to get those materials, But it would be kind of cool. I definitely want to try to do some more stuff with some like clear resins. I think that would be awesome to get back into doing some of that stuff and using the different techniques to make different effects in the resin. I thought about actually taking all of my my like tiny pencil nubs that are that are basically comical at this point, like these things, and trying to cast all of the pencils and like random art supplies that are just like dead supplies into pieces, so I'm not wasting anything. I know that's ridiculous and seems insane, and it could be, but I don't know. It might be cool if I like had a giant piece I made and it was just full of weird pencils and like wood shaving, graphite pieces, things like that. Would be pretty awesome. Sorry, let me catch up on some of this chat too. Some of the Smoothcast products are fine. It just depends on what version of it. They make dozens of different types of resins. If you email the company, which is Reynolds Advanced Materials, I believe, like that's the main company, and Smooth On is just one of their many brands. They will be able to kind of walk you through what's the best for your project. Most people use like I think it's the 301 or 302 resins. Those are like really fast setting resins. When you first start out, they're pretty good to use, but they can get a lot of air bubbles if you're not careful. One of them is pigmentable, so you can add color to it, and you have to use like a specific resin dye. And the other one's just an opaque white, and that's pretty much what I always use. You can also get some other epoxy resins from other sellers that aren't from Smooth On, but you'll notice some of the quality is lacking a little bit. All right. The dude forgot my straw for my for my coffee. Ah, man. Okay, so we're done. I think we're done with the skull drawing. It looks pretty good. Can't really keep it in focus. Now that I'm looking at what's on screen, everything I've been drawing is underneath the chat box. So sorry about that. we're gonna try and do a little flip here and see if you guys can see a little bit better. If that's slightly better or not, I don't even know. Move that out of the way. Move this over. Move it down. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's like all zoomed in weird. That's craziness. That's too far. All right. Let's try this. Now it's upside down. I can't win with this thing. All right. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see, but the chat box is in the way of everything I've been drawing for like the last hour. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just gotta let me just turn off the chat box for a second. I can still see some stuff, but it's just a little hard seeing it. There we go. So I'm just gonna hide the chat box frame. I'll keep chat box on, but I'm gonna turn the frame off, so it'll still pop up over the drawing. But now you guys can see a little bit better. I can't even believe I did that. That's ridiculous. I feel so dumb right now. Oh man, sorry guys. There we go. So yeah, I've been drawing this two-headed skull here this whole time, and you guys haven't even been able to see it. No wonder why nobody wants to watch the stream. They can't see anything. Ah man. All right, well, I'm a little embarrassed from that, but it's all good. It happens. And I don't have the like webcam on either. I think it actually makes it makes it a little bit harder for me to see everything. You guys can see in like in the corner here. This is the second screen, so I'm like looking at the metrics of like what's coming in, and the chat has to be on another monitor completely. But yeah, so if you guys also could like the video, that helps me out a lot. I know I've said that a lot today, but it's true. It does help out so much when people like the videos. It's just one of those metrics that's super important on YouTube for a video to get discovered, and especially with some slightly lower viewership. It's good to try to get it up. All right. So I could probably maybe fit 2 or 3 more skulls on here. Let's try to do. I'm trying to think of like a cool thing we can do. I really like these weird sort of like deformed skulls. I think they're kind of cool to draw because they're not like a regular skull, and you can really just jump into ideas with it. Like there's this cool one that someone did a Photoshop manipulation with 2 photos of the same skull, and they like basically made it look like it's like rotating in the center. It's like someone like took it like silly putty and just like warped it. So that's kind of neat. Just draw that, or try to draw that. And starting with just the teeth or something, like this is not how I would recommend drawing things like this. It's good to actually do the proper process of building shapes sometimes, or just starting with values and shades. But when I'm drawing with a pen, just for whatever reason, it's more comfortable for me to draw like this, but it's not as accurate. But we're just trying to fill this page up so we can move on to the next challenge and concept, which is drawing your guys' sent in images on the Discord server. And I'll try to post those afterwards once I'm done drawing them. Moving along slowly, but definitely moving along. The other thing too, I wanted to let you guys know, we are getting some good feedback from new subscribers that are just joining the channel. So that's awesome. So thank you guys. If you're a new subscriber that's just tuning into any of the streams or watching this at a later date, thank you so much. Really do appreciate you guys checking this stuff out. And I am hoping to try to do more stuff with the subscribers and stuff. Once we get to 1,000 on YouTube, we'll probably do like the first giveaway of something, which will most likely be like an original piece of art or something like that. Yeah, I haven't really decided. I'm trying to figure out whatever I'm making in that time, because it's always changing. I'm always making new things. Sometimes people like one style of art versus another, but some type of art I think will be for like the first giveaway. All right. Got the teeth going. Yeah, I think this will be just slightly challenging enough to make it worth trying to attempt. This thing is messed up looking. I'm already starting to notice some of the proportions that are off from drawing like this. So this is why it's bad to just draw like from a feature outward. I do this all the time and it's a bad habit, so I gotta try to stop myself from doing it in the future. But we've already started, so we're gonna try to finish this drawing as close as possible and try to fix things as we can. But because it's with a pen, it's a little bit harder. And I really wish I could stream other places. It'd be really nice to try to do like a live stream and go to a place and draw, but it's not very easy to do. Everything's closed, obviously, and I can't necessarily like go and stream inside of a museum. As fun as that would be, I'm pretty sure that would technically be illegal or something, or they probably wouldn't be too happy about it. Not super pumped. Um, but every once in a while, they have things going on at the MFA, and I think it'd be kind of neat to maybe do some form of live stream of something I'm drawing, not like a tour of the museum. You know what I mean? Like if I'm drawing a statue or something, it's like, okay, here's the drawing, here's the statue. But I don't know how well that would work out and how long I could do that for. We're approaching the 3 hour mark, so that's awesome. Started around 7 today, a little after 7. Had a few of the streams cut and end from connection issues, but looks like they're doing a lot better now, so that's good. Yeah, and I keep noticing that the how far off the screen is. There we go. I'm just going to try to move that over a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. Not too bad, a little bit better. Now I have this really ridiculous logo that's in the way that unfortunately I can't do anything about that. The app, even though I paid for this app, there's no way to remove that little insignia, which is insane. It's like it's just constantly there for every stream, no matter what. So that's frustrating. It's really like why I wanted to get another reason to get a capture card is that I could properly stream without any anything on in the background, because the Canon 9D has a clean interface when you're live streaming through a capture card and using it like a webcam. It's like another factor of why I even got the 90D, because it's just really versatile versus a few other cameras. If anyone has any suggestions, though, for solutions, hit me up on any of my social media. I definitely am looking for a solution because I just don't know what else I can do. Yeah, and after I'm done drawing this today, I just need to catch up on a few last minute changes for some clients on some past projects. So it's not new work, it's not like paid work, but it's just basically some fixes that I need to make. So once those are done, I'll be able to focus a bit more too on streaming. I've been thinking about it all day, but I want to at least get past the halfway mark before I take a break and work on that stuff. Or I can just wait until I'm done for the day and work a few more hours after all this streaming. Oh my god, it's gonna be a lot. I'm so I'm so tired, but we're still pushing through. We're trying to get through the rest of this workday. This is insane to try. I don't recommend anyone do this. This is just crazy. But yeah, they say it's what 10,000 hours to learn any skill or to like master a skill or something. So yeah, we'll have 40 towards that. I'll be a half decent sketchbook artist. Hang on, let me catch up on the chat too. Oh yeah, cameras, they're kind of tricky. I used to really be into a lot more video and film stuff when I was younger. I really wanted to be a filmmaker, go to film school, all that. And then I got slightly realistic and I was like, that's not possible. I'll become an illustrator, even less realistic. So, but once you get into like camera gear and stuff, it's easy to fall into like a video viewing pit when it comes to that stuff. I have watched so many YouTube videos on different cameras over and over and over. And anytime I like get any money from the channel or through the channel or through my personal art website, anything with like the Wolf Pits brand, I pump it directly back into the YouTube channel. Or I'll take my own personal money and dump it in as well, like kind of improve stuff. So the camera was like a much needed investment, and I waited a really long time to invest in one, and then it was time. So I invested in one. I got all the lenses I could ever possibly need, but this is like never enough gear, it seems like, to just do simple things. So it is frustrating that there's still a ton of gear I would like to get to help improve the quality of videos, like a slightly better microphone on the camera for when I'm out shooting with people and doing vlog stuff. But the mic I have will be just fine for now. The other stuff is like paying for proper lighting. It just all adds up so much to get a good quality production video. So all that stuff's going to come in time. Not until the channel really starts growing. I'm not going to make any other major investments as far as equipment goes. It's just I'm not really making money off of YouTube, but it's fun to do, right? Like it's something I enjoy doing. I like making videos. I like the community aspect of YouTube and just being able to like meet cool people. Like I met Austin through YouTube, and we did the collaboration. Like he did one of my toys. He like painted one, which was really cool. To have him do that, he made a video on it, so that was pretty sick. And it was just through YouTube I met him. I saw his videos, and then we ended up following each other on Instagram and talking. Struck up a conversation about doing some toys. And I've sent out a few toys to some other YouTubers that have completely flaked and bailed. I get it. Like it's hard to make videos, especially if you're new to something. But if you say you're going to do something, like, and someone sends you something for free with the intent that you're going to make content about it, you should definitely make content about it. It's kind of messed up. But like Austin's always been super solid about any of that stuff. Like we had an idea, we knew what we wanted to do together. We've talked about doing some other collaborations, maybe in the future, like briefly through comments and stuff on each other's posts, and maybe that'll happen when I have some more time and he has some time. It's just hard to do the collaboration stuff right now with anybody. Especially like when I'm trying to do ridiculous challenges like this, where it's just the most absurd thing I could possibly try to do. Yeah, sometimes people need a break. That's what I was doing on Instagram, so I'm still doing that probably until um, the weekends. I might go try to see my nephews and my brothers. And I don't know. I don't think I could resist posting photos of those little shits. They're the greatest. But we'll probably just be hanging out, having a good time. I might go skate. The skate park that I had helped build is finally almost done, and they have a few sections that are skatable. So I might go with my brother, and we might go skate that park. That's like one of my biggest accomplishments ever, personally. Not art. It's not really art related. It's more skateboard related. But as far as accomplishments go, getting that skate park built with the efforts of everyone involved has been something that's been a part of my life for over 10 years. So it's been pretty wild. And the fact that it's finally happening to get a skate park built anywhere is really big. This will be my third skate park I've helped build, and helped get the funding and sort of raise awareness for. But this is by far the longest project out of all of them. The Boston one was I can't take personal um, claim to having helped build that. I was just someone that lived in the city that would, donate when I could, and also like having the shop that I used to run here. So like that was not an effort by me. That was an effort collectively by this entire city. But the other two parks that were built, uh, the Douglas Mass Skate Park, is a direct result from me and my best friend Zach wanting a skate park and pushing to make it happen. And it didn't get built until also about 10 years, I'd say. That's typically the time they take for most people. I had long since moved, and same thing with Zach. He had moved, but the skate park's there. It's a little crappy wooden park, but it was the first one that was ever built that I had a huge hand in helping get built. So I'm excited that that one got made. And then the other one is the FSP Park, or Falmouth Skate Park, and that's like where I went to high school, in that town, and that park was huge. And some of the best memories I have in my life are at that place, and some of the best friends I still have to this day I met there. So it's a really, I have a pretty deep personal connection to that park, and the fact that there's a new one finally being built is absolutely amazing. But I'm excited to possibly skate it this weekend, or like skate part of it this weekend, because all the dudes there, they like couldn't wait. So the ramps are skatable. So we might go skate that. I'm gonna check with my brother and see if he's still down to do it. I haven't talked to him in a while, so I gotta travel a little bit to do that. But it'll be the end of this challenge and a much needed break from screens. All right, we got this weird skull on the bottom. I think we're pretty good. I think we might be able to maybe do one more little skull, and then I'll move on to the character drawing. Just filling in some of this negative space here, trying to really make some contrast in the drawing so you can see the skull. All the skulls are on weird dark backdrops, so it makes it easier to see them. So I'm just going to try to mimic that sort of dark background. Oh my god. Almost through it. Damn, this has been such a challenge. All right. One more skull, and then we're on to drawing your guys' submissions. We got one submission so far. Also on the video, if you guys could like the video, it definitely helps out the channel. I know I've said that a bunch, but it really does make a huge difference on the metrics of YouTube. And the watch time is going up, so thank you guys. I do really appreciate that. There's no music on this one. I'm just focusing on drawing, but so it's not as distracting, so you guys can kind of just like put it on in the background and not have to worry about it. I think it should be decent, you know? Should be decent, you know? Sorry, getting a little feedback loop. Okay, sick. So yeah, thank you guys for liking the video. It just went up a lot. That's sick. We got 3 people on there. It says there's 3 people watching now, so thank you guys for sticking around. So Bonk, we got your character coming up next, and then we're gonna probably move on to, I don't know, if you guys submit more stuff, if more people join the stream, we'll check some of those out. I'm gonna draw one more skull, and then we're gonna head off into doing some more character style stuff and see what comes out of it. So the goal for that will just be to draw other people's art submissions in my own style. I know that's been a huge trend in the past on YouTube, and people are really into it, but it could be fun. So we'll give it a try. The other thing too, once you start drawing something over and over, the same type of subject matter, you get so much faster at it because you're used to how things are supposed to curve and bend and all that. Makes it a lot easier. So even though this is a different image of a skull than the ones that I've been doing previously, it's a little bit easier to draw because I've already drawn a few of them, so I know how it's supposed to look and how it's supposed to come off. And now I can actually lay down that information a lot faster and very quickly and get a much more accurate drawing and undersketch of what I'm making because of that. So that's another reason exercises like this are really good, to force yourself to just draw and fill an entire page of one thing. I'll be moving on to hands and faces in a little while because they'll definitely be warmed up, and that's always something that's hard to do. So we'll see how that goes. And then I think we'll take a break in like another hour and a half, if I can hold out that long. That'll be another intermission break of like 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. And then we're going to continue on, and then we'll be done for the entire day by 3 o'clock, I think. Let's see. Let's see if I figured that out right. Started around 7, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, around 3:30ish, and we'll be at that 8-hour mark. So that's huge. That's another one in the bag almost. We're more than, I don't know, we're not halfway yet. We're close to halfway for the entire day, which is insane. Still can't believe I'm doing this challenge. I don't know. Sometimes having a random idea, it's good to do. I feel like I'm doing my own version of like a Mr. Beast challenge where I'm like, I'm going to draw for this long. And blah blah blah. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna get $10,000 for being the last person to draw though. So, oh man. There's like a few other art YouTubers I think that have done crazy art challenges, but they're not like live streams. They're just like recorded videos that feel kind of scripted. They're entertaining for sure because the people have like high energy personalities, but it's so hard to be like that in a live stream for hours. I don't know how people do that. It's really hard, especially when you're drawing, so you're so focused. So it's just hard to be like, yeah, I'm this really fun personality that you should be following, and blah 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 blah. It's basically like a one-sided conversation. You're just talking into a microphone while you draw. It's utter insanity. It's just there's no other way to describe how insane of a concept it really is to just sit and draw by yourself and talk into a microphone the whole time. It's like doing radio. I feel like radio hosts that do radio shows by themselves must go insane. At least they have the music they can listen to. I can't even do that without my videos being flagged anymore. All right. And the other thing that's cool about showing you guys this process is a lot of people see only the finished work. They don't see the practice that goes into learning how to make finished work. None of these pieces are perfect. None of them are, full finished drawings that I'm going to really use for anything for these studies. They're there so I can practice and learn new techniques that benefit my overall ability to draw things in the future. So you got to put in the work. If you want to learn a skill, you want to get better at drawing, it is intense labor to really get it to where you want it to be. And how much time you have to dedicate to being an artist is insane. So it's like if people are beating themselves up about how good they can draw right now, it's just the time that you got to put into it. You could draw as good, if not better than me. Hell, some of you probably already draw better than me. Hang on, sorry, catching on from the chat. Oh yeah, no, those videos of people that are really hyped, like some people can do that stuff for long. Like I'm, now that I'm a bit older, I'm not really like that. When I was younger, I was really high energy, but I didn't have as many responsibilities, so I could just, kind of do that. When you're working constantly every hour of the day, you don't have the time for that. So it's hard to like kind of keep that energy and excitement and like tell jokes. And it's hard to like share your personality on a public platform. Like some people are okay with it. I'm not really good at it. So I still feel like people don't really know who I am, but I'm not as worried about it because it's like just YouTube, it's whatever. But some people can really like show their personality through very easily in a video. I'm like, I can't do that shit. I'm like too tired as it is, exhausted, self-conscious of dumb things. So slowly getting better though. I think it's like a lot easier when you do the live streams too. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to like worry about the dialogue as much. So it definitely helps out in the long run. All right, the skull looks pretty good. Just crammed it in there behind these other two. And I probably could maybe fit realistically one more tiny skull, but I don't think there's a point. Maybe just to yeah, let's just look for one more skull, one more. We'll draw it from a different angle. Let's see. There's this kind of like cool cat skull. Let's try that. We'll draw. We'll mix it up. We'll do a little cat skull or something. Thanks, man. Yeah, they're okay. They're looking pretty good. A little rough. If I were to spend the amount of time I wanted to make these finished pieces, that could be this entire challenge in itself. To draw one skull could take, a couple hours. So we're gonna just kind of stick with this medium speed sketching and practice, just laying down information and trying to retain whatever we're drawing. But it is cool to just draw from even like a reference right now. A lot of the time I try to just draw from my head, and I know that's not a good way to do things, but doing original characters, it's whatever. But it's always good to make sure that you have a reference that you're drawing from. And I am drawing really fast for these streams. And then, so for Thursday, I'm going to do my regular art stream. But I think for Thursday, we're going to try to paint a toy. So I'm waiting for some materials to get here. Hopefully they get here in time, so don't hold me to that. I'm waiting on some paint markers to get here that I ordered so I could paint the toy in a live video, because I can't airbrush in a live stream. That's just not going to happen. It's not possible right now. So hoping those actually arrive and get here, and I can do that sort of thing. But it's definitely going to be a challenge. Good. All right, so yeah, we're approaching the end of this page, and it feels kind of nice. We'll do a little fast recap, and then we're going to flip on to the next subject. So I'm going to be drawing a submission from someone on the Discord server, and then I don't know. We'll see if more come in. We'll do more. If not, then we'll just go back to drawing like different random things. Man, this skull that I'm drawing now is it's not looking too good. Oh man, a little deformed. Whatever, it's fine. All right. Moving along. And just going to fill in this negative space kind of quickly. I'm going to grab that parallel ruler again. If you want to do more precise line work and stippling effects or like weird sketching effects, it's good to use something like this. This is a parallel ruler. They're used by all different types of industries for drawing and draftsmanship, typography. Essentially, it's a ruler with wheels on it. I was using one earlier, and it's a way to just draw lines very quickly and very precise at any angle you want. It's a really helpful tool. I haven't been using it so much for this challenge. I've just been freehanding, but these large open areas, it can be exhausting on your arm and wrist to try to do it perfectly, and it's very slow. This is just filling in some of the negative space. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some typographic stuff too. So if anyone has like a word, if they want to suggest one, go for it, and then maybe I'll use it, and we'll do some typography stuff, and I'll show you guys how I go about doing some custom typography. I think that would actually be kind of an interesting thing to do. All right. So you can kind of see how perfect those lines are compared to these ones that are like arched because I was using more of my wrist. That's what this is. That's what this tool is for. You can also use just like a regular ruler. This is just a little bit easier to hold and move along quickly. So it doesn't really matter. All right. Yeah, it's really starting to move along. I'm excited to finish this one up. This page is almost done, so anyone that's just tuning in, thanks for watching. We're going to be moving on to the next page in a second. We're going to be drawing some submitted characters in my style. This is submitted by a user on the Discord server and a follower and subscriber on the channel. They're active in the chat actually right now, so if you guys want to have a discussion about the character when it comes up, we can. You can view this character on the Discord server. There's a link to join if you want to check it out. It's just I can't set up a screen right now to show it right now while the stream's live very easily. So that's where you can check out the character and see what it looks like if you want to. That's okay. Like some people just don't want to interact and communicate. That's fine. There's no obligation. All right. So that looks pretty good. Looks like we filled in the background enough. I'm just going to do this stuff by hand up here. I don't really need to be exactly precise. Just a little bit easier. This is just like wrist, and I don't have to use my entire arm. So that's going to go nice and quick. All right. A few more of those. And I'm on the corner of a page, so it just like falls off the edge. So that'll happen a lot. And weren't able to finish the skull and do the most accurate drawing of it, but that's all right. Let's just get past it and move on. If you guys want to see more things like the graphic design stuff that I do, or more like client-based illustrations, maybe in a live stream in the future, when I have that kind of work in, let me know. I've been curious. Some people seem to have a lot of interest in that side of things more so than just the regular videos. They're more curious about the business side of things. And if people want to know more about that, maybe I'll do some more videos on it. I have some of that information that I'll put on the Discord as well. All right. So these side areas, I can just do it by hand. It's a little bit faster, so I will. And all we're doing is we're just basically creating enough contrast between the images to basically show that there's a background. How freelancers find customers. There's a ton of ways, and there's a ton of ways that work for some people and don't work for others. So that's a tricky one. I do get that question quite a bit. I find work by looking for work. That's the best way to find. You want to find customers. You need to figure out what your niche is. You got to find different platforms to share stuff. I by no means have a lot of clientele coming in on a weekly basis anymore, especially with the way everything is right now with coronavirus. I work in a lot of manufacturing, so I do a lot of stuff for customers like that. And that kind of goes from just working in the industry for years, people knowing me and knowing my work from those sort of things, and doing a lot of work for free. I did work for free for a very long time for every type of client. Big, small, didn't matter. I was just working for free. And I don't necessarily recommend that for everybody. But if you need that real world experience to prove that you can do professional work, that's how I did it in the beginning. And then eventually I started getting paid gigs, and it was, you don't look back. I still do occasionally projects for people for free when I have the time to do it, or if I can afford to do it, and it's for a cause or a purpose that I believe in and support, then I have no problem, And that's usually what I recommend is like find things like that you want to do anyway. And if you're not getting the kind of work, offer the work for free to prove that you can do it. And if it's something that works out, it's good to go. But it's all just like building relationships. Like I know a lot of people that want to do their own business. They need logos, like friends and family and stuff you can start with. Friends are easier than family. And usually like I show people my pricing. I usually do give them a discount, but I do show them how much they're actually saving. They are saving like a decent amount. And I let them know that. So like I still send them an invoice, even stuff I do for free. I send an invoice so people can see how much the value of it is. And getting used to that practice and really knowing what you're worth helps you find work in the future, because people see that you're serious about it and that you're professional about it. They're more likely to recommend you, even if they don't use you, which I found. I'll get recommendations from people who don't even end up going through with the project, and they'll bail out or whatever for whatever reason. But being professional and like, oh, it's okay if you're ever ready for it, I'm here. I've actually gotten more work through clients like that, which I think is a lost cause in the moment, because I'm like, oh, I spent all this time like trying to build out all these sketches and all this stuff, and then they bailed on me, and then it turns out working in my favor. And then I end up working with them later on or whatever. They just weren't ready for that specific project. I've also been doing this a long time, and my presence online has been slowly growing. I haven't been as active as a lot of other people, so it makes it a lot harder. And I only started really taking it seriously online a few years ago. Before that, I was just like, oh, I'm just going to make stuff, whatever. And I do miss that for sure. But I didn't really consistently start getting paid work until like 2 years ago. It was so sporadic and so hard to find work that I barely could call myself like a real freelancer. But I was just fortunate enough to get a few really cool gigs in that time that made it so I could actually kind of survive in the moment. But living in a city like Boston is really expensive and extremely competitive in the creative fields. It's hard to keep work coming in consistently, so it helps having the channel and stuff like that. I can't monetize on the channel though. I don't make money from any views or anything yet, but I do appreciate people like that come from the channel and they check out like my online shop and they get stuff there, or they commission me to do a piece because they found me on YouTube or something. Like that's awesome. I don't have any other like recent commissions though, so I'm definitely looking if people want different things. And also, if you're not following me on my other social media, it's at WolfPits for everything. So on Instagram, it's at WolfPits, Twitter at WolfPits. Obviously, YouTube is the big one. Facebook, there is a WolfPits official Facebook page. Those are all the different social media links. If you guys want to check that stuff out, you can follow me on those other platforms. Currently, YouTube is my most active platform, and then it's normally Instagram after that. Twitter, I don't really understand it. I always thought Twitter was just like a weird place for people to complain. So I don't really have much value on Twitter personally. I know a lot of people really like it, but I just don't really care for it that much. It's like not a big deal to me. All right, we're moving along on this thing. So yeah, this is like a time where a parallel ruler is absolutely a must. If I were to try to figure out all these in freehand, it would have taken forever to get it nice and clean. I'm doing it really sloppy. I'm not taking measurements, and I'm not like trying to be super precise, but it does definitely look like there's much better value, tonal values and stuff being built up. Another thing I could use for something like this would be screen tones. I've used them in videos in the past in old sketchbooks, so you guys have seen those from me. If you're not familiar with it, they're used a lot in comic book and manga art to create values and tones. So we talked about them a little bit the other day. But that's another one of these things those would be perfect for. But because the sketchbook is just like a trash sketchbook, and I don't care about it enough to get that deep into it, I'm not going to bother using stuff like that because it's expensive. But here's the full page of skulls drawn, and the background. See how the background really gives all the contrast that needed to really stand out? If I hadn't done that, you wouldn't be able to really see anything. So I'm pretty happy about that. Looks good. All right, yeah, looks pretty good. A little bit nicer. Gotta take some water breaks. This is like super creepy image. I wish I could easily share screens without having to reset up everything. There's this like weird creepy mask image, and it's awesome. I kind of want to draw this at some point. All right, but we're gonna move on to the next piece. So we're switching to a new page, and we're gonna do the character that Bunk submitted on the Discord. Thank you for your submission and giving me the privilege to work on one of your originals. I'm kind of excited to give it a try and see what I can do. Let's see. Get back on the Discord really fast. And let me just pull that image up. Now I'm going to switch to a pencil for this, just so it's easier for me to draw. Don't mind this giant bubble tea straw. I use it for art. I made a pen quill out of one once, and I've been wanting to make a video about weird things you can use as art supplies and art materials, but we'll save it. When I try to do that soy sauce video, if I end up going through with that, I'll give that a go. Maybe. I've been thinking about it though, as like that would be a cool video because people are always like, oh, like I can't afford supplies. I'm like, I get that, but like you can literally use anything. So I think that would be a cool video to kind of show that. If I literally just used random things that you can get for free, like bubble tea straws. Like if you're already getting bubble tea, when you're done with the bubble tea, like save the straw, clean it out, turn it into a weird pen. Okay, let me pull up that character real quick just so I can see it. All right, and this is under the art ideas category. So yeah, this is pretty sick. So we have a few different details on here. What are those Jordan 4s on that? Or are those 5s? I should know this being a sneaker person, but they look like they're like a '90s era Jordan on there. Got a bucket hat, a giant smiley face going on. Sorry, guys. Okay, 97s. No, they look fine, man. Ugh, sorry. Drink something like went down the wrong tube in my throat. All right, so we're gonna do a character design. We're gonna follow. Yeah, we're gonna try to follow the standard character turnaround look. It's a little gel pen stuck on the ruler too, so cleaning that off. Oh man, sorry. We're just doing like a little basic grid. Whenever I'm drawing someone else's thing, I like to kind of like grid it out a little bit if I'm not going to use like a printed up piece of paper to look on the screen. So it's not going to be exactly the same. We're just going to follow some of the basic forms and shapes and try to get the proportions somewhat accurate. So we have a round head. And then we have this bucket hat. So it goes over like this, kind of curls up a bit over the face, tweaks out at the bottom. And you can also like pull up references. So like this, whoever you're drawing artwork from probably used references as well. So you can look up similar images to see if you can kind of get the same effect. It's got a huge smile. Yeah, man, this is a killer character. It's actually really fun. I like it. So it's got a nice big smile, and we have a lot of lines that help complement each other. So a little bit of a shadow underneath here that's pretty emphasized. We got the teeth. We have like 5 teeth. So this is pretty much the basics of this character so far. There's a symbol on the hat as well. And then the arms come out to the side. They're kind of a little bit short. Looks like there's a line here that maybe even could be a backpack. The arm goes into. This other arm sticks out. At least in this reference, so we're going to follow that. Got some shorts here. Then we have some little like artwork on the shorts. And then I'll try to mimic the shoes from the drawing, and then I'll look up some of the other classic shoes. So these are like the 97s, the Nike Air 97s. This isn't an Air Max shoe, right? No, it's not. There's no way. Maybe it is. I'm just not recognizing it. Yeah, personally, one of my favorite go-to shoes, as far as like sneakers go, if it's not like a classic 70s styled shoe, I really do like the Air Max 90. It's like my favorite, one of my favorite designs for sure. I think that's also a classic Tinker Hatfield. I think he designed those as well. So he's the Nike designer that's designed basically every Jordan for the most part. There's like 3 or 4 Jordans he did not work on, and you can kind of tell if they're not bad designs at all by any means, but they're definitely different. Flex Shot, is that okay? Okay, so that's the name of the character. I'm gonna put that on top here. Yeah, Bonk, do you have any Instagram account or anything that you want to shout out? Put it in the comments, and I'll put an @ on the screen here. All right, so we got that going. So it looks pretty good so far. I think the this arm I'm going to bring out a little bit more. So no spaces. All right, so if you want to link your Instagram, you can, but I'll do that. So it's if it's just at, I'll do mine and then yours next to it so people can find us both. There we go. All right, so there it is. It's on there. If you guys want to check out the work and the art or whatever they have on their Instagram account, go check it out. You can also follow me on Instagram as well. It's just at WolfPits. All right, so we got the basics done on the character, and now I'm going to start adding in some details to kind of do my version of it. Yeah, if you want to throw a link in the chat, that's cool. Throw a link in the chat, and that makes it a little bit easier for people. I'll let you do that because we're doing one of your characters. All right. So right off the bat, what I would do to this, I'd probably give it a weird nose because I always draw with my weird like monster noses. I'm going to bring the smile down a little bit. Give it some weird lips. I have the weird pointy nose that I draw. I think I'll just do the point though. I like the fact that it covers the eyes. I think that's a cool detail for sure. As far as teeth go, I'm going to change. Actually, I'm going to change the mouth quite a bit to do it in my style. And this is a great way if someone asks you to do this sort of challenge and you've never done it before, is to take the original and just draw on top of it how you would draw those features. If you're feeling like a little anxious and uneasy about it, it's really not that bad. You can definitely do it. And I'm going to change the chin so it's a little bit pointier. I'm going to give it a scum stash. And then we'll do like a weird tongue. There we go. The shirt, I like that. It's like pretty simple. It's just like a black shirt. I'll just add some like texture lines and some folds and stuff that kind of really make it look like it's a baggy shirt. Arm nubs are still kind of fun. I might add some hands. And then I like the look of the shoes and everything. Those are fine. The bucket hat, we'll add some other details, just some like little frills here and there to kind of show it's got a bit more shape. Some weird folds in there. And we'll draw the hat going back so you can see that continues. And then the shorts are pretty good too. I think the shorts look fine. I think like the fact that they kind of have like that abrupt stop that kind of helps with the design. Add some pockets. Some shoelaces. I'm going to turn these 90s, the 97 sneaker, and I'm going to make it like a weird platform boot because why not? I might not go forward with this idea. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna hinge the arms so there's like little hands that come down. All right, so we got the weird hands going on in there. We'll give them the weird sharp claws. Got that going, some elbows. I think it looks kind of fun. The arms are way out of proportion and whack, but the character's got like a kind of short and stout look, so we'll just have weird long arms. Sorry, I had to get some coffee. All right, so as far as like details go, pretty happy with this. I'm gonna make the patch on the hat like a weird eyeball, I think. Looks pretty good. Trying to think of like what else I got to add to it that would be a very Wolf Pits touch. I do like the kind of like stitching looking graphic on the pants. So I might kind of stick with that idea. I'll just make them slightly more stylized. All right, looks pretty good. Uh, Do like a weird bracelet, maybe. Yeah. Why not? Little spiked ring. All right, looks pretty good. We're gonna start inking out in a little bit. We're gonna get the final details with this blue pencil. So we're gonna switch to the dark blue, and we're gonna start finalizing some definite shapes. Not too bad there. I think the eyeball looks cool, so I like that idea. I'm gonna make the eyeball look like it's part of the hat, like it's like a living, fleshy thing. All right. Okay, that looks pretty good. The arms look super funky, but I want them to kind of look like they're weird, like broken up bits with the wrists all like warped and mangled. Just double checking. Hang on, we're getting some alerts in the Discord. Oh, sorry, that might have been someone else's Discord that I follow. Oh man, it's hard with a single like the screen setup to look at everything at once. There's just too many things going on. All right, so the other thing that I'm doing here is like a bit of a perspective trick of making 1 foot a little bit smaller to kind of make it look like it's more in the foreground. I just gotta taper these shorts down a little bit to really get that look. And we'll just kind of keep this when I go to ink it, I'll give it a little bit more contrast so it looks like it's shaded. All right, looks pretty good. We're going to switch to inking. And for this one, I'm going to grab a micron pen and just get some of the finer detailed lines where I want them to be. We're going to use a 0.5 or a 0.8 if I can find a 0.8. I have a 0.7. Close enough. Yeah, well, I have a ton of 0.5. It's usually like my go-to size for illustration stuff, but 0.8s are for other styles that I like to do, like more common styles that I'll use. All right. So I have this one to help with some filling in, and then I have my brush pens as well to do some gray tones. So let's lay down some other light tones with the gray wash brush. This is a pen by Tombow. They make some really cool stuff. I like their stuff a lot, actually. Yeah, I want to get more of their things, but they're a bit expensive, so I don't really have too many brushes from them, but I do want to get some more at some point. They make a water-soluble pen that goes with these, and you can get really nice smooth blends and gradients and stuff with them, which is super awesome. And I'm just throwing these in where I think they're needed. Not really planning too far ahead. All right, we're going to switch to a black pen, and we'll finish this up. We'll do like the liner on the mouth just to kind of trap in the area and make it a little bit easier when I'm using the brush pen. And different brands of fine liner pens actually are different sizes. So the number 5, for example, the 0.5 from one brand to another brand sometimes actually varies a lot. And these Unipen fine liners, I believe that's what this one is. Yeah, the Unipen is what these are called. These are really nice, but I like the tip of them a lot. They're just a lot smaller than microns, but they're much smoother than microns, in my opinion. Yeah, sorry, let me catch up on the chat. Oh, thanks. Oh, okay, your phone was giving you issues? No worries, we're back. We're still drawing. And I'm just drawing like little fine lines and details real quick to kind of capture where I might want to use other variations of line. You can do like a monoline drawing and still make it look good. I don't want to. And using a brush, like a brush pen, can be scary when you first start using them. But once you get used to how they draw and everything and how lines lay down, you're gonna really like using it. I think you're really gonna think it adds a lot of depth to very boring drawings very quickly and very easily. It's easy to make mistakes too, but that's okay. That's why you can use like whiteout pens and gel pens or whatever you want to fix those. And I'm being cautious not to get my hand in the ink so I don't accidentally ruin the entire thing, which I do a lot. Moving right along. And we're basically at the halfway point. So we are halfway through today's drawing, I believe, or just past it. It's taking a toll. Looks pretty good. Pretty happy with this actually. Looks nice. So we're gonna just kind of move on. Using my other hand to kind of help control my working hand and wrist. So you can get much different lines from a drag and a pull depending what you prefer to do. I personally like to pull my lines instead of drag my brush. And it just gives me the result that I like. And normally for something like this, I would actually be rotating the page a lot to get the lines to flow the way I want them to with the brush. But because the sketchbook is so heavy and the space is so tight that I'm drawing on, I can't really do that. So I'm just going to stick with this classic pull down technique and just try to get everything to match as close as possible. All right, let's see where we're at. Looks like we got some more people viewing, so thank you guys for tuning in, checking this out. This has been an intense challenge. Once I'm done with the line work here, we'll do a little quick recap again for anyone new joining the stream. If you're just tuning in, if you could definitely hit the like button, it really helps out the channel a bunch, and I could really use that sort of support right now, especially for this challenge. It's been so intense already. We're on day 2 of 5, so we have a lot of drawing to do. So I think the next drawing too, we're going to try to actually do some faces and some portraiture and really push it, see what we can crank out. I wish I could collaborate with Ron English. He's actually a pretty nice dude. I've run into him a few times at different toy events and stuff because he does a lot of characters. Really kind. Never had like a really long, lengthy conversation with him or anything though. All right, looking pretty good so far. The shirt looks not too terrible. I think the I think I missed the mark on a few little details here and there, but it's okay. We're just doing this kind of spur of the moment, so this is all just impulsive decision making for the lines. I'm not really planning them out too much. Yeah, speaking of different like toy events, I actually because of COVID-19, Five Points Fest is canceled this year. Uh, would have been like a couple weeks ago at this point, but it's a huge bummer because I actually this would have been the first year I would have had a table with somebody. So I unfortunately didn't get to go to that. So all my toys are actually supposed to be at that event, and I was hoping to actually move a lot of the inventory, so I haven't. But everything is on sale on my website right now to try to clear out so I can get some inventory space. I've been trying to do like a move and find space, but with all these toys, it's next to impossible to really make a committed move because there's so much space that they take up, and space is super limited here. All right. Move it along, slowly but surely. So just finishing up the claws. That's like a Wolf Pits staple there. Weird monster features. All right, looks pretty good there. And I'm just using the brush to add the weight for the shoe on the sole. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then we have like the shadows and stuff we can throw in. If we wanted to really add more detail, that would be possible. But I think we're pretty good on the detail. I think it looks detailed enough, actually. I think there's actually like enough information there to really get the ideas across. And that's kind of it. That's how I would do one of your characters, man. Add some just texture here and there. And that's that. So that's one character submission through the Discord server someone submitted. If you guys want, I will draw your characters in my style. Yeah, I don't know. Came out pretty rad. I'm happy with it. I think there's potential to make this like a full video one day and actually really spend the time on a character like this. But I think it came out pretty good. I don't know, man. What do you think? It's your character. Gotta catch one in the chat, man. But I'm filling it up. All right. Oh, I didn't do the little pant stitches. We're just gonna use the brush. Actually, we're gonna make them black. We'll do them like in the opposite instead of lining around them. Mainly because I messed up, but I think it's a little bit easier with the brush. Boom. See how much faster that is than trying to like trace around it and then fill it in. Use your brushes. The other thing I could do to really make this stand out is I can actually start sculpting the line. Basically, this is that's like a tattoo artist term, but basically what you end up doing is you re-go over the line again and make it a little bit thicker and more consistent. And what that does is it actually adds a lot more contrast to a black and white drawing. All right. Just scaling this now. So I'm just adding a slightly larger stroke around the entire piece of art. You can do this with any marker. I'm using a brush, which isn't the most precise method of this. A micron pen is typically a little bit better, some form of fine liner that's a little bit fatter, and you can really clean up your line work that way. But I kind of like the look of the brush and sort of the wonkiness of it, so I'm going to stick with it. I think it's a cool effect regardless. And you can do this in any color you want. I'm just using black because it's what's available, but it just makes the line work really stand out. Mainly the stuff that's internal inside the sketch. Like on the sleeve, you can kind of see that. All right, looks pretty good. Yeah, big thanks to everyone that's viewing the stream right now. If you could like the video, it really helps the channel out a lot. I know I sound like a broken record. I keep saying that, but if you're just joining in, thank you for checking it out and tuning into what we're working on. If you definitely like the video, feel free to join in the chat. You can subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already subscribed. All that good stuff in the chat there. Finishing up a character submission from the Discord server. There's a link to join the Discord server as well if you'd like to join and kind of hang out with the art community we have formed over there. Cool, man. All right, so that's going to do it for this your original character in my style sort of thing. It's pretty fun. I like it. Came out pretty good. I'll do a little lettering thing for your Instagram name, and then like the character name. I guess I'll try to do that too. Got 5 likes so far. Sick. Well, I appreciate it, guys. I need to. It's hard for me to like look at the metrics of the what's going on in the live stream. So I have it open in one tab, but it doesn't really show me everything. Man, but it says we got 4 viewers. So seriously, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I didn't save enough room for the other part of your handle here. Sweet. All right, so that's done. I'm not going to throw anything else on this page. We're going to let it be. We're going to move on to drawing some faces, I think. Ugh, gotta stretch. Ugh. All right. Let's see where we're at for time. So we're 2 hours, 15 minutes in on this stream. That puts us just over, I think we're actually 4.5 hours now of streaming from the earlier streams. A couple of them got canceled. Took a little break. Yeah, we're definitely feeling it. I'm going to close out the Discord. I have too many tabs open, so it's a little slow. Let's draw some faces. I'm just going to pull up some different tabs of like models and stuff like that I've saved as drawing references, and just see if those kind of work out. Just closing a few tabs. But if anyone has, I don't know, like something they think I should draw, let me know. All right, we're gonna probably switch back to the green pen. So green pen's doing pretty good. It's a little bit more than halfway full still. We're going to use this thing until it runs out, I think, in this sketchbook. But let's do a quick drawing recap for everyone that's just started following the stream again of the 40-hour challenge of what we've gotten done in that time frame. So we have this, the Insomnia Night sketching. That was the official start of the sketchbook challenge. It was a little over 2 hours to do this page and this page from that. So we have a whole page of rose studies, traditional tattoo flash rose studies, some other weird details, some eyeballs on here. Next page, it's all insects and weird scorpions, kind of neat details on there. Really like this design and this sort of hourglass widow thing. Don't steal it. I'll know if you stole that idea. I want to do it first. Let me do it first, and then you can do your version of it. This was from yesterday morning. This is the first thing that I started at around like 4:30 a.m. yesterday. Absolutely brutal, just warm-up sketches, inking. Oh. The next page was actually this was all different studies of different types of fire that you can draw, and this was by far this has been the most helpful thing that I've done in the sketchbook so far as like progression goes and trying to learn something. This worked really well. So another warm-up page, some character stuff. We got a murder dog, this weird drippy eyeball, a little mech, and a sword dagger. That was also from yesterday. This page right here was another just random page of different doodles. We have a really sick skull on here. I really liked how this came out with this little snake, this wolf dragon head. This is cool. The weird eyeball, the weird bat, staircase to nowhere, a little apple, a bunch of little blood drops and teardrop things. And then actually no, this was the last page from yesterday and the start of today's page. All these little different bits of fungus and plants, and there's a Venus flytrap and some mushrooms and some acorns and chili peppers and just weird things all on this page. A little tree drawing, all sorts of stuff. Then we moved on to the skulls page. So this is a bunch of different skull studies, drawing a bunch of stuff from photos off of Pinterest. Super awesome. I actually really enjoyed doing this. This is also from today. And then we took a break. We switched it up, and we just finished up this character that one of you guys submitted in the Discord, like on the Discord server, so you can join that. And we're going to take a break, but I might do that in the future. There's a art ideas section you guys can post in if you want to join the Discord. And maybe, just maybe, I'll actually draw one of your characters in my style. All right, we're moving on now to drawing some faces. And this is something I'm really bad at. I haven't done it in a long time. I'll do it every once in a while, but I haven't done it in quite some time. So we're going to do a few faces, and we'll just see what kind of comes of it. But that was the recap. Yeah, so that was the recap. Streamlabs isn't like connecting correctly. It's like not showing me the metrics, so I gotta go and double check and live check everything that's happening on YouTube. So sorry for the typing noises. But yeah, so we got 4 people viewing. Thank you guys, seriously. That's awesome. All right. And let's see, where are my reference photos? There we go, references tab. Nice. All right, so we're doing pretty good. The subscriber count is also up, so thank you guys. It's at 618. We got a goal of 700 before my birthday, so that's the next one I'm looking to do. If anyone isn't subscribed and wants to subscribe, please do. Helps me out a bunch. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a couple different faces here. We have some portraits of some actors and actresses, models, some male and female models, and we also have some really real images of some pets. So we're gonna pull a few of those up. I'm gonna draw some pets, some other animals, and then there's a few, I could draw some kids as well, just so there's like a mix of different styles and faces and whatnot. Ugh. Yeah, it's good to have a bunch of different images. All right, so let's see. We're gonna start with. I think we're gonna start with this one. So we're gonna start with a male model. It's a weird dude smoking a cigarette. And we're just gonna go at it with a pen. So bear with me. This is bound to look terrible and have a ton of mistakes, but we're just going for it. So I'm going to start in this like upper corner, and we'll start working down. Actually, we should start in this corner technically. Sorry, I'm left-handed. I don't know why I keep going left to right. I need to go right to left. Just a slightly bad habit. And what I'm doing is I'm not going to try to use a bunch of solid lines to make this drawing. I'm going to just rely on the values to really represent the drawing. And we're just going to use that by doing different types of cross hatching to sort of show values, tonal values on this face. It's okay if you're new to drawing to like jump around a little bit with where you're shading. If you're not really sure what to do, it's totally fine. But if you want to look at an image like a portrait as if you're making it up of nothing but lights and shadows when you're drawing with a pen, if you're trying to do studies like this anyway, you can still use lines though if you prefer it. It's whatever you want to do. And I'm starting kind of low. I didn't plan out the composition, so we're just drawing to draw, and that's it. I should have made this lower already. The head's going to get basically cut off because I'm just working on the jawline, but it's okay. Yeah, man, I'll take a photo of it later and try to throw it up on the Discord for you. So yeah, I didn't have a chance to like plan this out properly. I just started drawing without planning the shapes or the composition on the page. So if you make the same mistake I did, you can always just finish the drawing for what you can see and what you can fit proportionally. It's best to do that than try to cram it in. You want to keep as much of this as realistic as possible to your reference. So you want to keep the scale and proportions as accurate as you can and just plan better for the next one. So the next one I'll actually use different shapes and we'll rely on line work or line weight a little bit more so just to really show and represent the image properly. This is what happens when you just rely on just the shading. You can run into a few issues here and there. But looks pretty good. Looks like the likeness, which I'm surprised. I'm normally not that good at doing that. A little stylized, but also trying to draw these fast. I don't want to spend more than 20 minutes on each one, if I can help it, at least. All right, moving along. So we have like the first drawing looking pretty good. I think it's a wrap on this first head or quarter of a head because I didn't plan it right. We're moving on to the next one. Ugh. This is exhausting. I think I will do one full page of like male faces and then another one of female faces and then one of kids and then one of old people mixed of just different things. I think that's going to be the easiest for me to do. So just make sure that I'm capturing, trying to do a full rounded thing. Male faces are always really hard for me to draw, even though they're really simple technically because they're just very boxy. But I do typically have a much harder time drawing male faces than I do female faces. I draw more female faces in general because the features are just, they're more appealing to me to draw, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I draw a lot of female characters compared to male characters. And we're going to try to actually somewhat make this one a bit more readable by using shapes to define the image. It's not going to completely fit on the page, but it'll fit on the page a lot better than the other one. At least it'll be on here. Just double checking on the chat here. Thanks for the shout out, man. I appreciate that. And this one, I'm just actually relying a little bit more on some line work in combination with some cross hatching to really make the image stand out. And I have a few people that follow the channel and are subscribed that are a bit younger. Some of them are still even in high school. Not as many. Most of the people are a bit older, but the few people that are still like in high school or just starting college, I highly recommend that you do the drawing. You know, if you're in an art class or you're lucky enough or privileged enough to have an art class in your school and you're taking art classes, do the drawing. I never really wanted to do the drawing when I was growing up. I had too many things going on that were kind of getting in the way for me to take it as seriously. I'm like, it's you live and you learn. But honestly, I wish I spent more time doing life drawing back then because I feel so dumb, so dumb. Honestly, because like everything seems really busy then, and then as you get older, things get so much busier, and you're never able to really do anything that you want to do. There's just not enough time. You're working constantly just to make the minimum to survive. That was like another reason to kind of show this challenge a full 40 hours of just drawing and how long it actually takes to do anything. It's not like there's a huge misconception about art that it's just done super quickly. I think a lot of people that don't do it, or people are ignorant to how long things take because they have no experience with it. They've never seen it. But filling a sketchbook takes a long time. It's not like an easy task. There's a lot of hours that go into it. So when you like watch a sketchbook tour video or something, you're looking at what could be hundreds of hours sometimes of work, sometimes less. It depends on how the person likes to draw and how often they're doing work, but that's what goes into it. It's insane process, and it takes a lot of time and dedication and discipline to finish even like a simple sketchbook. So doing a 600-page sketchbook and literally just we're already at over what, like over 12 hours of this, 13 hours, and there's only from that not many pages are filled up. Like compared to the amount of time put in, a decent amount. If the sketchbook was smaller, maybe more. But from the start of the contest, we have 1, 2, not contest, challenge, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're on the 10th page, and then there's still, the back sides of these pages that are still doable. So I will draw on the back sides of those pages, I think, before I am done with this. Before I can consider the sketchbook done, I do plan to draw some more things in here until every possible page is full. Because I just don't think it's been done before. I think it's like a hard challenge to commit to. It's a hard thing to accomplish. I go through a lot of sketchbooks. I do a few a year, but they're not nearly as filled with detailed studies and things like that. This sketchbook has been the catch-all of everything, and I don't even really enjoy the paper of this sketchbook. I don't think it's very good. I think it's like kind of crappy, but it makes it a lot easier to just throw ideas out there and try things that I normally wouldn't want to do or I'd hesitate to do in a nicer paper sketchbook because they're more expensive. This thing was cheap. I think I got this thing for under $20, which is shipped to me. Something on like Amazon Prime. So that's pretty wild in itself. And I always have the hardest time drawing lips and teeth from references. So this is usually where a drawing will look decent, and I just immediately butcher it. I think I need to do a whole page of just mouths and stuff at some point. All right, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get the eyes in the appropriate spot and the pupils and everything. Get the highlights in there. All right, so it looks pretty good. I think we're capturing the likeness actually pretty well in both of these so far. Now I just need to draw the hair on this one so it doesn't look like a weird, creepy drawing. Trying to like draw people that have hair and then making it so they don't have hair makes them look so strange and like out of place versus just drawing a bald person or someone with like a shaved head. It look like that looks totally normal when you try to draw that, but when you try to draw someone with hair, you're guessing the shape of their head. It's just can come out so weird. All right, got that ear. And doing the hair can be kind of tricky because when you're using a pen like this, I'm not really good at texturing hair out with a pen like this. Using a brush or something, it's actually a little bit easier because you can get those nice open breaks. You can draw it in a bit chunkier. Yeah, big thanks to everyone that's been watching the stream. It's really helping me out a lot on the channel to get the growth on here and this challenge. Just having people to come and check it out and see what's going on with it, asking questions, comments, liking the video, all that stuff has been awesome. So thank you guys so much. for really, you know, stepping in and like hanging out, just helping out by supporting the channel. It means a lot. All right, not bad. 2 down. I think we could probably do, depending on the scale that I choose to draw them in, I could probably do like maybe 2 to 3 more on here. Depends how I want to fit them in. I'm just going to draw a little bit more of this shirt just to kind of help with some of the negative space, and then we'll just kind of box it off like that. Yeah, we'll keep drawing. I'll try that like little sticky note thing where I can just put it over a piece and then redraw it if I need to. So that's a thing that you can do in a sketchbook. If you make a big mistake or even like a little mistake with a pen, you can actually just throw a sticky note down on top of it, redraw that section. That's all right. I think that's enough room with the shirt. We'll leave it as is, and I'm not going to add anything else to it right now. I don't feel like trying to render in fabric. All right, I think I found actually a great reference. It's a heavy contrast image, so there's not a lot of facial details. It's bold, it's strong, but I think I could actually use it in this context and make it pretty strong. Make a pretty strong drawing. Is what I meant. Sorry. So this is. It looks like it's actually a understudy painting of a face, but I do like the shapes that are in here. It's a very strong, structured face. And it has like a lot of those heavy masculine features, really well illustrated in here. So sometimes it's good to do studies like this because then you can actually see the approach an artist took on how to render a piece of work. This is more like for illustrators, not like graphic design. I do plan to do some graphic design stuff in the somewhat near future. It's just hard to, I don't know. Those projects also take a long time. So it's hard to do live streams of that stuff. And we're just going to draw this with the details that are available and visible from this reference, which there aren't many. It's a very dark image, but I think it's kind of neat. I like it. Probably looks ridiculous right now from this drawing reference that I'm using. To kind of illustrate this technique. It's essentially like doing like a contour drawing. Okay. So this reference doesn't have a top of the head, so I'm going to have to kind of make that up. We're just going to keep it pretty simple and hope that this kind of represents and shows in the drawing that it's just like, yeah, there wasn't something that we could work with. This is passable. All right. looks pretty good as far as the shapes and stuff go. I'm happy with that. The hair I'm not happy with because I don't have a proper image to reference for that, but that's okay. We're gonna just do the neck. Okay. All right, I'm pretty happy with both of the last two. The first sketch on this page I wasn't as happy with. Man. I'm gonna need to like take a break soon and take a stretch, go for a walk. All right, checking some things out. Anyone that's new watching, thank you for tuning in to this ridiculous challenge. I'm looking at the pen now. We're starting to really go through. We're halfway through this pen. I'm not sure how much you can see on camera, but there's a lot less ink in there than there was before. I think that you guys can see. I don't know. Yeah, so less ink. We're moving along. I have a few pens like this. I actually got these from a friend of mine when he was moving over to Barcelona. He gave me a huge box of different pens, and these are some of my favorites, and these are left from that box. So, Andre, if you're watching, I'm finally getting down to using literally everything in that box. So this sketchbook will be filled up with all sorts of things, but we're going to draw with this pen for now until this runs out. I think we'll probably run out by tomorrow on this pen, and we'll just kind of go through and just fill in pages and do as many studies as possible. But we're on to the next face. I'm going to try to still keep this just like more youthful looking men for this first page. Then we're going to switch probably to some female faces, and then we're going to switch to some old faces, and then maybe some like kids drawings and babies faces, because they all have really different features that are hard to capture. So we'll see if we can do that. The next one we're going to do is a little bit harder to draw. I think the shape of this one's going to be interesting. This is a 3/4 view angled, but from like a lower angle of a face looking upward. Yeah, we'll see how this one comes out. I'm looking at it now, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to capture this just right. We're going for it. We're going for it. It's gonna be a difficult one to draw, but it's okay. All right. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a really hard one to draw. I'm already kind of regretting thinking I could draw this one, but it's okay. We're gonna go for it. We already started, and that's part of this is to draw things that make me uncomfortable and that I'm not really good at drawing. To try to get better at drawing those things. So just getting all the detailed information down before I start adding some more shadows on a drawing like this. That's a little bit more necessary where I can't really imagine these things in my head, so I can't just pull from my imagination on how this is going to look. It's such a weird angle to draw someone at, and it's not something that you would commonly do. It's not like a straight on view. We'll do a few straight on portraits also, maybe later on with some other details that might be harder to kind of showcase, but getting there. Slowly. Sorry, these ones take a bit more focus and concentration to really get accurate. So sorry, I'm not talking as much. Okay, I definitely do like one more face on here. I'm gonna add a little bit more detailing to some of the hair in this one, and then this one I'm noticing too. I just didn't add enough strokes to really represent the hair that well, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, 5 or 6 of these, and I think I'll have a decent amount on this page. Then I can move on to the next one, and we'll do. I think we'll do the female faces next. We'll do 5 similar styles, different angles, Try to find some weird ones. And then I'll do the youthful faces and then the old faces, like a mix of both male and female. And doing drawings like this in studies, it's easy to kind of like really overthink and miss details or over accentuate details when you're drawing with a pen. So it's definitely a challenge, and I'm happy to like try to force myself to draw with a pen, but it's a lot. You definitely notice it and feel it for sure. Um, but yeah, it's it's getting better slowly. All right, we're gonna move on to the next model, and I'm just gonna double check the time on the stream. I do need to take a break kind of soon. I said I was gonna take it around this time, but we got some people watching. So if I take a break, it'll just be like 10 minutes to go for like a little walk. I think I'll wait until we hit the 3.5 hour mark on this stream. And then that'll give us, that'll get us to the point where there's like an hour and a half or 2 hours left. And maybe I can crank some stuff out. I don't know if I'll be able to do any longer. I've been drawing basically for 6 hours. So it's a lot of drawing. It's a lot of time. And I'm just kind of like getting a little tired. And I feel like I need to go for a walk. And so I gotta like refresh the chat every once in a while. All right, on to the next image. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another one I can do that's like another angle. We have a few like straight on views. Let's try to maybe do. These are like kind of technically angled. They're not bad. Uh-oh, are we losing the stream? We might be losing the stream. Hang on. No, we're good. We're back. All right. So we're going to do one more face here. I'm going to try to get it to fit in. The neck and stuff will go off the page. Hang on, I got somebody that's texting me. Let me just make sure it's not going into the stream. Yeah, I really do need to get that capture card, so I just need something else so I can like use my phone while I'm doing these. Sorry, let me try to answer this person really quick. All right. Well, it's not working. That's fine. There we go. Oh man, sorry. All right, cool. Just let them know I'm doing the stream, so I'm not accidentally having things sent to me. I am technically on airplane mode, but when you're like an Apple user and you have an iPhone, the Messages app just links directly to all your Apple devices. So no matter what you're on, you always get like a weird notification that someone's trying to talk to you. Yeah, actually, it looks like looks like this image is a repeater of the angle of the last one. Oh well, that's okay. And we're doing a bit more line work. This one has some really cool lighting. I think I want to try to do this in Procreate as well at some point and try that to do some digital painting. I don't have enough space and it'd be way too messy and complicated to try to live stream paintings, I think. But I would love to maybe do some videos, some painting videos in the future. I do want to try to get back into doing more fine art stuff. Just as like a personal thing, like I like fine art. I'm a fan of it. I've just never had the appropriate resources to properly learn fine art techniques, so it's all self-taught, which is there's nothing wrong with it or anything. It's just I feel like I would progress faster if I had the appropriate space to do all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. Yeah, these models basically look almost identical. I don't know why I chose chose this one. I think it would just like fit in space. And drawing like different hair textures and stuff like that as well is just something that you don't really think about. You just start drawing and then you usually tend to draw the same things over and over once you have success with it. So it's good to force yourself to draw different types of people and people with strong features and softer features and different textures of skin and hair and all of that. And like, like other than like the obvious features that are fairly common, it's good to look for things that are different than what you normally draw. Not necessarily unique, but things that aren't what you draw. And with like models, you can get a really interesting range. You have a lot of people that have interesting and unique looks, and a lot of their features sometimes are not normal. They're abnormal. That's why they're fascinating to a lot of people. It doesn't necessarily, it's not a scale of like beauty or anything. It's a lot of that has to go into the like the world of fashion, and being a model doesn't necessarily come down to things that are so superficial all the time. A lot of the time, it's actually just a unique and strange look a person has can actually determine their success. Not to say that that isn't a huge factor, like being attractive and stuff isn't a huge factor, but when you're looking for references, I always think like looking at different types of models is good, but looking specifically for things that are harder for you to draw that you don't think you can draw and trying to draw those things is what I'm getting at. If that makes any sense at all. All right, so this got a little messed up. The nose I really like messed up on, and then the hairline. I did the hairline before I did the rest of the facial features, not really thinking. But because there's all these other things going on, I got a little distracted, and the hairline is way too low. So it just looks like it's a weird thing on the forehead. We're gonna try to see if we can salvage it and just make this area that is technically shaded and has shadow in the photograph. We're gonna see if we can fake that and then recreate the hair up here. Luckily, these are not super well-known models, and people can't tell who I'm drawing because this person would probably be very offended at this failed attempt. But it's okay. You're not gonna get every single drawing. Sometimes you mess up and you just kind of keep hammering at it. It just doesn't turn into anything. And that's fine. That's why you have a sketchbook. Usually when I mess up on a drawing this bad, I'll once I'm done trying to push through it and see what I can salvage. If it doesn't really go anywhere from there, I'll wait on it and I'll save the image to a board where I have to go back and I'll try to redraw that like a few days later or something, just to try to like get it out of my system. Because sometimes if you try to draw the thing that's giving you the hardest time again and again and again, sometimes you can kind of get frustrated and burned out on it and not really go for it the right way. So we're going to try to avoid that, and we'll just kind of finish this up, power through it. Most of the features I'm happy with on the face. It was just the hairline was really bad. All right, we might be able to do one more face. Might as well give it a shot. Why not? And we're approaching. So we're basically at the daily cap actually for hours. Now that I'm looking at it and doing the math, I did do a few hours before the start of the week on Sunday. So I did a few hours, which I'm counting towards the 40 hours. Just because Friday I might need to leave kind of early and meet up with some family and stuff. So I won't be able to do a full day Friday. So I did a few hours there, some overtime, and then I might even do some more stuff later tonight. And as far as tomorrow goes, same plan. We're just going to keep going at this sketchbook and filling it up. Yeah, it would be a really small head if I were to try to draw one. Let's go for it. There's a side profile view. It's like kind of interesting. So definitely a unique image for sure. I'm going to use that post-it notes technique to cover up a section so I can just see. Just because basically everything has been covered up with pen at this point, so this is just so I can kind of see a little bit better and draw. I'm probably going to start taking some time with some of these. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know. Some of them I think have great detail and they're coming out okay. Some of them not so much. I'm not going to pressure myself to try to meet any specific standard of quality in the drawings. I just want to be practicing. And I think tomorrow will be a day of features that we'll draw. We'll do different things like hands and feet, and then we'll do one that's all just different gesture drawings for like a few hours. We're just going to do all sorts of different things. And this is another one that I didn't really sketch out the form of the head. And I can notice a pretty big difference between sketching out the form of the head and then just kind of going for the drawing. There's a noticeable difference in the likeness of the character compared, in comparison. So definitely drawing those pre-sketched lines that determine the form and the shape. I can draw faster and get the likeness a little bit better than just drawing like this. So that's a noticeable improvement on being able to like render someone's likeness from a photograph this quickly. So definitely using the simplistic shapes to create the foundation of my sketch and my drawings is crucial for my process, I guess, to make a realistic drawing. So I think I'm going to have to experiment more with that. I could have put another sticky note down if I need to, but I don't want to lose the detail of this face up here. I guess I could and just like take it off and show, but I don't really think there's that much of a point. I don't think it matters that much. All right, this drawing has like, sorry, not the drawing. The actual model itself has some pretty crazy, wild hair everywhere that would go all the way up into this dude's face if I were to draw it. So we're just going to draw some small details of it here and there. And because it was just like crammed in the corner, we could continue it down, but I just think we're going to stick with just this little sticky note and a few little strands here and there. All right. And I'm going to just take a, like, maybe a small break. Been streaming for a long time, almost 4 hours on this stream, this specific one. So I think it's about time to take a break, a little breather. So when you go that long, sometimes you can kind of lose motivation to keep drawing. And I don't want to lose motivation. I'm actually making progress, I feel like, today. So just going to add some foreground and background definition here. So yeah, that's like the cool thing about that sticky note method. Let me show you real quick. It's like, all right, you still have the other drawing still preserved underneath, and then you can change it out. If you mess up on an area, you can add another sticky note. So it's a cool thing you can do in sketchbooks. I usually use it to censor things when I'm using my sketchbook like a notebook, and I accidentally write like a phone number down or something, and I need to do a sketchbook video tour. That's when I'll typically do something like that to kind of hide that information, and then I'll draw over it or whatever. But yeah, I kind of like it. I was watching a video earlier today from another YouTuber, like early this morning, just trying to get myself in the headspace to do this stream. And they were using that technique, and I thought it was like, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I've done it in the past for things, but never thought about it like that. At least the way that they had showed it. I wish I remembered the channel. It was just a random thing that popped up in my feed. They seemed like they were a big account, but it was all like doodle drawings. It wasn't like portraits or anything. It was just like weird doodles. All right, looks pretty good. We got a lot of the stuff filled in, kind of get some of that negative space out of the way, give us a little bit of a nicer drawing. Just gonna go for a few more minutes filling this in actually, and then we'll take the break. Just be a short intermission. So yeah, let me just kind of keep filling in some of this area, and just to kind of help get some contrast and stuff going. On some of these areas that have a lot of similar lines, I'm just going to stick with this parallel ruler all the way down, and just try to make sure I'm not hitting the drawing too much, but still able to fill in and make a visible contrast and difference. Yeah, so even like these simple lines here really just